We know the cloud-based software companies have been on fire, but what about non-cloud-based software firms that still have a technological edge over older and more traditional players? Take Qlik Technologies, a provider of data analytics software for businesses. Here's a big data play with an intriguing premise. Their analytics platform is both fast and easy to use. Some people say it's addictive. The idea being with Qlik, you don't need to ask your IT department for help analyzing your data, which is how data analytics traditionally works. Instead, the company has a user-driven intelligence platform that allows the people making the decisions to access and analyze their data directly. And Qlik says that its platform makes it much easier for people within an enterprise to collaborate and share their findings versus more traditional offerings like from Oracle, IBM, and SAP. However, Qlik's performance has been uneven lately, and its stock has been hammered ever since it reported a disappointing quarter back in October, falling from nearly $34 down to $28 and change right now. Qlik has rebounded somewhat since reporting solid results just 3 weeks ago, but it's still barely up over the last 12 months. Now, Qlik just had a big analyst meeting yesterday where they talked about the launch of the next generation of their software platform. So is this the beginning of an important new cycle for Qlik, and can it stay competitive with the likes of IBM, Oracle, and SAP? We know that they're all duking it out all the time. So let's check in with Lars Björk. He's the CEO of Qlik Technologies to learn more about his company and its prospects. Mr. Björk, welcome back to Mad Money. How are you, sir?
I'm good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Thanks
All
for
right.
having us.
Now, you got a brand new iteration. I went through your deck, and I was saying to myself, if I were a customer, maybe I would just wait. Don't do more business until I can actually get this new product. Is there going to be a gap in sales?
I don't think so.
Okay.
The product we have today is highly appreciated. People deliver great value out of it. And they're excited to see that we have something new, compelling coming out. We have the next generation of the software in this space.
So you don't think there'll be a hiatus? People say
I think there will be a small pause.
Okay.
And we built that into our guidance this year, but I don't think there will be a big distraction. No.
Okay. Last year we talked about, I was right around this time because it was March Madness. We alluded to it. I was reading over our interview. We talked about SunTrust using it. You've got some interesting new clients. You have I think that just want to spell them out because I think that you have AbbVie, which is great in the presentation. You have McAfee, but you also have Waffle House.
Yes.
We were just in Louisiana looking at Waffle House. What do you do for Waffle House?
Well, like anyone, we help with operational data. And Waffle House is just running their operations. They open up new stores, they open up new restaurants. How do you monitor that?
Well, I mean, what's on the dashboard for Waffle House?
I wouldn't exactly know what's on the dashboard.
Okay, but we saw the dashboard for AbbVie for a cancer test.
Yes.
Now, if I were cloud-based, wouldn't I just be entering it in my handheld that would be shared with everybody? Is this better or worse than that?
I think the great thing about what we do is it could very well be on your handheld. We are device agnostic.
Okay.
If you want it to be on your handheld, it should be. But the great thing is you want the same experience on your handheld as on your computer.
Right, and you offer that. And why is the dashboard? You used the term addictive, and when a customer said it was addictive.
Yeah.
What does it mean? Because it's just constantly showing these interesting numbers and helping you make better decisions?
I think the key thing is we don't leave people with just an answer to a question. We let them explore the data. What if you can discover your findings? You're going to find more than you were looking for initially. That's what makes it addictive.
So if I work at, let's say I work at Gatorade.
Yep.
Am I looking at where Gatorade's being sold and looking at what flavors are being sold and therefore sending more of that particular flavor to that area? Would that be something?
Yes. You're looking at patterns, you're looking at trends, you're looking at what products are selling, and you don't want to be out of stock, and you want to be ahead of the market. So, yes.
Okay. Now, last time we talked about is trying to get the interplay between, say, sales and social. Because, you know, for instance, we had Mr. Nelson from Clorox, and he was saying, listen, by watching the Twitter feed, he was able to tell when there was a flu outbreak or they needed more Clorox.
Yep.
If I had the dashboard, would I be able to tie in my Twitter feed with that?
Absolutely.
You would?
Yeah. Twitter or any other social media is just a data source. And the great thing about it is you shouldn't worry about where the data comes from, but you should, of course, have that semantic data, too. Yes.
Now, is everyone looking at the same dashboard that I am?
No, not necessarily.
Okay.
We can redesign it for your purpose and for another person's purpose.
Okay. Now, IBM is struggling. We know that SAP of late, they bought Business Objects, IBM bought Cognos. We always used to talk to TIBCO, haven't talked that much, but they have Spotfire. All three of these, they tell me, and I'm actually meeting with one of those companies next week, that their product is the best in the world. How does someone make a decision knowing that IBM, SAP, these are big companies. They offer a lot of other soup-to-nuts solutions for the enterprise?
Yeah, I think the number key driver here is that the business user today wants agility and flexibility. These stack vendors, they might have great software, but they're not easy to use. And the driving force here is you want something that's fast, you want it to be beautiful, you want it to be in the hands of whatever device you have, and you want to be in control of the experience, the user.
Well, what are those other guys doing?
I think they produce more report-like, more static views. You are bound to whatever somebody developed for you. You cannot make any changes yourself.
Okay, so let's use some examples, because here I've got on the deck I've got McAfee. We all know how important security, real-time security is, and you have a bookings dashboard, and it looks like that one of these lines is like what it looks like to be if I were getting gasoline. It's constantly updating. Is that typical of what happens?
That's a typical dashboard if you want to track revenue and you want to track sales. What is our bookings doing, and how can we put a focus on it? That's what they are doing.
And does this tell me, for instance, how I'm doing against everybody else? Is it a benchmark?
Could very well be that. It could be the manager monitoring his team, or it could be you monitoring yourself against your peers.
All right, so then my boss will be seeing how I'm doing, and I'm seeing how I'm doing.
It's transparency in the end.
Okay, now for AbbVie, which is a great medical company and one that we've been recommending, you talk about, they look at the pipeline, $18 billion in annual revenue, built on record of top tier. For this $18 billion annual revenue, if I had to look at a beautiful dashboard, what would it be showing me?
It could show you anything in operations. In their case, they have helped their entire sales force in over 170 countries to monitor their sales on a day-to-day basis. When they walk into a client on their device, they have the records from the latest discussion with that client.
And you say it's virtually no learning curve? I mean, it's that easy?
If you know your data, it's that easy. Think about it that you had an iPad on your hand and you were relating to our prior discussion. Instead of looking at a piece of paper, you will look up a record.
Yeah, that's pretty good. No, that's what I would want. Absolutely. That's what I want. Okay. Well, okay, that's Lars Björk. He's the CEO of Qlik Technologies. Guys, this is one of the cleanest deck you're ever going to see. You can see exactly what we talked about and get all the information and make the decision appropriate for you. After the break, I'll try to make you more money.